Hello and welcome back to the Nasty Metal production channel here at YouTube, and welcome to, of course, the Friday review. Now today I'm reviewing the fourth studio album and of course comeback album for, of course, cult Swedish metal band Torch, and it's of course titled Reignited and was released through Metalville on September 25th of this year. So it should be safe to assume that I think most of you should be familiar with Torch. If not, Torch are, of course, again, are a classic Swedish metal band. Again, very much well high regarded in that, and they definitely get put in the same category as other classic Swedish metal bands such as Heavy Load, Mindless Sinner, Overdrive, Axe Switch, and even at times early Europe. So, Torch. Again, I should also kind of bring up a little tidbit that they were originally formed in 1979 under the name Black Widow before they changed it in 1980 to Torch. Part of the reason they changed it is because there has been at least two bands, I believe, that had the name Black Widow. So I think it wasn't too bad to begin with. So the albums, at least that this band is very much well regarded for, is of course the Fireraiser EP in 1982, the self-titled full-length album from 1983, and of course Electric Kiss in 1984, and the Bad Girls 12-inch EP and that same year. Electric Kiss was of course their final album until the band broke up in 1986, until Dan Dark decided to at least form a new band in 2003, and of course it led to, of course, 2009's Dark Sinner, which for the most part was mostly re-recorded material with at least two new songs on the album, and that was the last time anybody had heard from the Torch camp until 2013, with most of the original members pretty much reformed. And that's what leads us to, of course, this album right here. So with that, let's definitely get into Reignited from Torch. Okay, so before I get into any of my thoughts on the album, let me definitely do a track listing rundown. This album, of course, consists of 9 songs, and it all clocks it at 42 minutes and 10 seconds. So these 9 songs are, of course, Knuckle Duster, Collateral Damage, All Metal No Rust, Feed the Flame, In the Dead of Night, Cradle to Grave, Snake Charmer, Intruder, and To the Devil Is Due. Now, before I get into I definitely should also comment that the artwork here was done none other by classic artist Thomas Holm, who is best known for, of course, doing the artwork for bands like Merciful Fate, King Diamond as well, and of course the Swedish metal band Wolf. Also, while the album was produced by Håkan Nystrom, who was actually the newest member here for at least Torch, who has been with the band since 2013, original member Chris J. First, the album was mixed and mastered by Jacob Hansen, who is best known for working with artists such as Udio, Anvil, and Pretty Maids. So very cool, and again, he does give the album a much bigger sound compared to at least their earlier albums, which were definitely more raw sounding. But so, which is, I mean, that definitely added the charm, but in many ways, it's very much, again, he does kind of give the album more of a bigger sound, which definitely elevates most of the song and gives them more of a fresher feel in many ways. So, as far as the songs themselves, Knuckle Duster opens up the album, and the thing, and right from this track, you're obviously given the great idea that are definitely let it be known that they are back, and they are tighter than ever. They sound in tip-top shape to begin with. They sound way more professional as well compared to their earlier material. I mean, again, the rawness definitely added to at least the charm of their earlier stuff, but man, they just sound like a well-oiled machine here. Just great. And of course, Dan Dark, for a guy in his 60s, my God, he sounds no different than he at least sounded when he was young, at least definitely on those early albums. He sounds no different. While at times you may start to hear a little bit of his age, it doesn't completely hurt any of the performance here because he sounds fantastic. Put him in the same category as Biff Byford, Udo Dirkschneider, and John Bush. He just sounds absolutely fantastic here. Definitely sounding better than ever. So great here, just in great shape. Again, most of the members here, they just sound they are literally are firing on all cylinders. And it's especially very evident with, of course, even Collateral Damage, which was actually along with the Collateral Damage and Cradle to Grave with at least the two of the songs that were released prior to the album, definitely to promote the release of the album. They definitely sounded great on there, and it definitely, again, gave you a good indicator that they were back for sure. But again, Collateral Damage is definitely classic sounding Torch. This could have easily been on the first album for sure. This could have been on that. So just a great track. Again, just that balls to the wall, accept style, some mid-pace riffing. Just balls to the wall riff. Same goes for, of course, All Metal No Rust, which definitely has that accept balls to the wall style riff, though at times with a bit of a bluesy AC/DC style tinge to it. That definitely works in the favor, though. And that's definitely very more evident with songs such as Feed the Flame and Cradle to Grave, which both have that classic Bon Scott era AC/DC groove to them. They're just great down dirty heavy rockers. And the thing is, it's kind of weird to associate the AC/DC style stuff with Torch, but it actually works, especially with Dan Dark, who at times almost ends up possessing the aura of course, Bon Scott at times, which is just really, it's actually interesting. It works. Maybe he could have been the replacement for AC/DC instead of Axl Rose. He probably could have done the Bon Scott era stuff justice. So definitely that's more of a personal opinion, but still. It definitely works, and again, they are great, and these are definitely two of my personal favorites on the album. Other personal favorites on this album as well is like Snake Charmer, which is, again, is another down and dirty, heavy fucking riff that at times has more of a, very much a modern day Judas Priest feel to it. Definitely something that could have easily been at times on Angel Retribution or Firepower. Just has, and it's great. Just great shit to begin with. So really, I also do want to talk about the very last song, which is To the Devil Is Due, and it's actually the longest song on the album because it clocks in at 7 minutes and 22 seconds. Now, this song, for the most part, is actually a slow but still very heavy track. But the thing is, when I first listened to the album and when it came to this track, I thought that it was kind of an odd way to end the album. But again, with the 4 subsequent listens, it definitely grew on me to where I actually find it kind of a cool way to end the album. One of the really things that is kind of interesting about this is how the song ends as well. I mean, it starts around, I think, the 6-minute mark, but the thing is, Dan Dark ends up reading a verse from, of course, Revelation 16:13, which is actually interesting, but for some reason it actually works to the song's favor. So it's definitely cool. It's definitely interesting, and it definitely is, again, it's definitely a different way to actually end the album. So it's definitely very cool, and definitely it does show a little bit of the seriousness in the band as well. I mean, again, when you've got fun tracks such as Feed the Flame and Cradle to Grave and Snake Charmer and, of course, All Metal No Rust, while they're definitely fun tracks, but they're not nearly as goofy as, let's like say, anything off of like Electric Kiss or the Bad Girls EP. It's not anywhere near as goofy as they kind of did, but they're still very fun tracks. But it's very interesting when you have a track like To the Devil Is Due, which is, again, definitely shows that the band definitely has matured over the years. Definitely a mature effort for sure. So very much all around, there's really just nothing bad on here. I think in many ways, as far as compared to Electric Kiss, I actually find this to be more of a consistent album than Electric Kiss. I know that might not be a popular opinion, but I just find this sound to be all around a very good, more of a consistent album. If anything, this could have been a great follow-up to Electric Kiss had they kept going. This could have been their major label debut, again, had they kept going. So I think this is definitely a solid album from, of course, these veteran Swedish metal legends. So with that, there is my review for Reignited, and my rating is a 9.75 out of 10. Now, the reason I've given a 9.75, even with all the praise I've given it, which could have been easily could have been bumped up to at least 100, but the thing I kind of bumped it is, the reason is this album does tend to have, it does have more of a comfortable groove at times, and that could be a bit of an issue. And it's more of a minor complaint here from me as well. It's actually more of a minor complaint because of as great as solid as the album is, and how much of the band sounds on here, and how they well performed the songs are, there does leave a little bit of at least lives a bit there for at least variety, because there's nowhere near anything that comes close to a track like Watch of the Night off the debut. Nothing comes close to that almost Fast as a Shark style thrashy riffing that Watch of the Night had. Nothing close to kind of break up even more of the pacing. Even again, while there are some faster tracks, again, Knuckle Duster, Feed the Flame, and of course, what was the other one on here? I think those are actually the two on here that really come close to being more faster kind of tracks. So besides that, while they're fast, they're not anywhere close like Watch of the Night, but they're still very solid songs. Even with that minor complaint there, this is still a very good album. And again, I've been listening to this quite a bit, so I think 9.75 is still a high rating for this album. Again, this is a great comeback album for these guys. I'm definitely would love to look forward to, of course, if they continue to do more. Because again, I would like to see them continue to record more albums. Because again, just based off of what I heard from this album, I would love to see what they come up with next if they continue. So there you go. Again, this album has been out since September 25th. And if any of you were familiar with Torch and you've heard this album, definitely let me what you thought in the comment section below. Again, what are your thoughts on the album? But if you haven't heard this album and you're new to Torch, while I probably should rather recommend the self-titled album, the Firerazer EP, and maybe Electric Kiss, this album still isn't too bad. I mean, you'll still get some great enjoyment out of this album. You're still going to get some great mileage off this album, especially for those that want to really scratch that accept itch as well. That's just that straight up classic metal itch. But even for that, it's done very well. So with that, I hope you all enjoyed this. Every Thrash Sam out. And I'll see you all later. Take care, everyone.